Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Pooh Shiesty. Now, Pooh Shiesty has been in the news a lot last year, right? Because he caught two separate cases that were high profile. Now, one of those cases, it looked like the witness or the alleged victim in the situation tried to, do as much as he can to say he didn't want to be involved and to clear Pooh Shiesty's name. Now, that case took place at King of Diamond nightclub. It was widely publicized. You saw it on all the media and all the blogs and whatnot. Well, he had another high-profile shooting case as well. And they were all put in this case where he was looking at kind of like a RICO time and whatnot. And man, it looks like they done came to a decision on Pooh Shiesty, and Pooh Shiesty done pled guilty to some of the charges. Now, there's a story from the Rolling Stone I want to talk about where they cover everything that took place in court today. But man, before we do that and we get into the specifics, break down the story, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about Pooh Shiesty in court today for the Bay Harbor Island shooting. Now, for those of you who forgot or don't remember, Pooh Shiesty was allegedly seen on video shooting at somebody and pulling off in a McLaren. I mean, some real wild type of stuff, man. And it was all caught on camera. It's been like stretched out for a long time, and it's been his biggest case so far, man. It's why he got locked up by the feds, and he's been looking at some fed time. Well, today, Pooh Shiesty pled guilty to some charges that are going to make sure that he's not going to be seeing life in jail. Because remember, there was a possibility of a life sentence with Pooh Shiesty. Now, in this story from the Rolling Stone, the headline says this. It says, Pooh Shiesty pleads guilty to firearms conspiracy. The plea deal means the Back in Blood rapper is no longer facing a possible life sentence for allegedly shooting a man in the buttocks at a Florida motel. So this is the Bay Harbor Island shooting. If you guys have ever seen the video, Pooh Shiesty, you can see him in the car. You see the shooting takes place. One guy limps off, and it looks like he's holding his rear area. You know what I'm saying? Now, the story starts off by saying this. It says, jailed rapper Pooh Shiesty pleaded guilty to a single firearms conspiracy charge Tuesday under a deal with federal prosecutors that means he's no longer facing a possible life sentence for allegedly shooting a man in the buttocks at a Florida hotel. So that's the case that they're talking about, right? That's the video they're talking about. And based on what they said and all the things we've heard so far, they had a lot of evidence against Pooh Shiesty, man. So him pleading guilty to this one firearm conspiracy charge, man, this might be his saving grace, to be real, man. There's been a lot of drama in this case. Now, the story goes on to say this. It says, and this is the important part, it says his about face and conviction on count one, conspiracy to possess a firearm in furtherance of a violent drug trafficking crimes, led prosecutors to ditch the other three counts in his updated indictment, including the most serious one, alleging he fired a gun during the confrontation at the Landon Hotel in Bay Harbor Island on October 9th, 2020. Yeah, it's been a while, man. This case has been going on for over a year. So this is important because they're basically saying they dropped three other charges, and one of them being the biggest charge against Pooh Shiesty for this plea deal. Now, Magistrate Judge Lauren Fleischer Lewis accepted the new plea after cautioning that the jointly recommended sentence of 97 months outlined in the non-binding deal was not guaranteed at Shiesty's future sentencing hearing before Chief Judge K.C. Michael Moore. So it looks like one judge is saying that his sentence of 97 months is not going to be guaranteed going to this other judge. So he still has to see this other judge for sentencing, but 97 months is a lot of time, man. I'm not even going to lie, bro. That's too much time, man, if you ask me. But let's continue. Now, in quotes, it says, if Judge Moore gives you a sentence that is higher than you were hoping for, that will not be grounds to withdraw your plea. Do you understand? And that was the judge talking to Pooh Shiesty in the Miami federal court today. And according to this story, Pooh Shiesty replied and said, I understand, who already had been in custody for 7 months. So they're talking about the fact that Pooh Shiesty has already been in custody for 7 months. So I'm pretty sure that time is going to be included. I'm not 100% sure, but usually that's what happens. That time will be taken off like at the end of his sentence or whatnot. Now, it also says the rapper, whose legal name is Lontrell Williams, released a new jailhouse freestyle titled Federal Contraband last month as he shared with fans he hoped to be out of custody soon. Now, I heard that song that he released, and in the freestyle, he touched on a whole bunch of different topics, like the Young Dolph situation and all that, and he also called himself one of the kings of Memphis, which was kind of cool. Now, in quotes, it also says, "I'm going to be back in a minute, won't be too long till I'm free." And that was basically a message that he left on his social media page that everybody picked up and ran with and thought that maybe it was a sign that he'd be free sooner than this, but it looks like he still has to go to sentencing, but this is pretty much the beginning of the end, or even the middle of the end. You know, this is like the last part, right? It also goes on to say, while Williams' admission of guilt does not guarantee he'll receive prosecutors' recommended sentence, it helps his standing in terms of how his points add up to determine the sentencing guidelines in his case. His guilty plea takes 3 points off the total, which is substantial, a source tells Rolling Stone. Now, based on that information, they're just letting you know that the federal government, they have a point system that they use, and 3 of those points is a big deal, man, because 3 points, it adds to the total months that you could do, the amount of time that you could do in totality, right? And by taking 3 of those points off the board, that lessens how many months that he can do. And the points are given like on a 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point system. And as many points as he can get knocked off is better for him and the less time that he does. Now, based on this chart, it doesn't look like he would be doing 97 months. But man, that's what they're pushing for according to the story, right? Now, also, they touched on the fact that the person who was allegedly shot in the Bay Harbor Island shooting, right? He caught his own case. Now, in his case, he was looking like at this bank fraud scheme, and he got tagged for that. So I'm wondering if that helped Pooh Shiesty's case or not, by him going down, the alleged victim in this situation, going down for that. Now, also, Pooh Shiesty's lawyer had this to say. He said, "We've entered into plea negotiations because there have been developments in the case that I think change the dynamics of the case." Shiesty's defense lawyer, Bradford Cohen, told the Rolling Stone in October. So that was back in October. We even ran a story where we talked about the fact that he was prepping to enter a plea deal according to all the reports, right? Now, Pooh Shiesty, he's 22 years old, they say here, right? And he's been locked down since June 9th when he got arrested for the KOD incident, right? Now, according to prosecutors, the Memphis rapper, whose Back in Blood collaboration with Lil Durk went platinum in May, allegedly drove a rented McLaren to the hotel the day of the alleged shooting to purchase a pair of high-end athletic sneakers. And you know what, man? Now, also in the video, man, the video surveillance, you allegedly could see Pooh Shiesty pulling up to the hotel with another guy who he described as his road manager, riding shotgun with him, and another man followed behind him in a black Mercedes Maybach. Now, after he accepted a bag and examined the pair of sneakers, Williams allegedly pulled out a Draco subcompact weapon and ended up firing, hitting one of the alleged victims in the buttocks, investigators previously claimed. As Williams drove off, a Louis Vuitton bag stuffed with $40,000 in cash fell out of the driver's seat of the McLaren, authorities claim. Investigators linked the cash to Williams by matching the full serial number on one of the recovered bills to a $100 bill flashed on Williams' Instagram account days before the alleged robbery, officials said. So basically, that goes back and covers how they got to Pooh Shiesty. And that's what they were ending the story on there. But they also said this. They said, a source close to Pooh Shiesty previously told Rolling Stone one of the alleged victims was trying to push drugs on the rapper unsolicited. Williams also claimed the 2 alleged victims were armed during the incident, according to court filings. And I think that's why they pushed for the plea. And they said, man, we got a better case here. Now, this isn't over. Pooh Shiesty, he pled guilty. So now it's almost done. Now he's got to go to sentencing. And once he gets his sentence, we'll see how long it'll be before Pooh Shiesty is back out here on these streets. Now, what do you guys think about this, man? Do you think that Pooh Shiesty might have got off light? Or do you think that this fell in his hands the right way because Pooh Shiesty, you know, his lawyer stayed on it? Obviously, he saw what was happening with the other guy who is the alleged victim in the case. And he saw the fact that Pooh Shiesty had an opportunity to get a plea deal in there and knock off 3 of the charges. So now he's just faced with the 1 weapons conspiracy charge, man, that might be a win. But what do you guys think, man? Is that a win for Pooh Shiesty, or do you think it'll still go bad if he gets a lot of time? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.